Yo, what's up, guys? So, what I'm gonna be doing is a tier list of what I think of decks that are gonna be performing well after the new ban list. Okay, so we'll start off with Rescue Ace. I think Rescue Ace is actually gonna be majority top. A lot of people will not agree with me, but I actually think it will, mainly because I think fire decks are inherently super buffed, super buffed post the new fire snake eye cards. And I think that like the rescue deck is barely got hit. I know Lifter going to one makes it so it doesn't have as many one card combos, but I still think the deck is still very, very strong. Um, it like nothing else really touched it. Like that's the only hit in the entire deck, and it's getting new cards like Bonfire and all that good stuff, which will allow it to access the one Lifter anyways. Like in reality, like just one Lifter is like totally fine in my opinion. Next we have the Sprite deck. The starter going to 3 does not mean this deck is going to get that much better in my opinion. I think it will have like one top. You're gonna have the one sprite one trick who like just shows up to some sort of event and just like randomly like OT plays like going second OTKs people for fun, you know? Shout to Dinkin fam. You know, like literally the sprite one trick are the scariest. Alright. Branded, I think we'll have maybe a few tops. The deck literally did not get hit at all. You still have Puppet Lock still in play. I think Brandon will be a deck that people will definitely still consider playing. Nothing's really changed about that, and the deck always has like a couple tops here and there every now and then, so it is what it is. Centurion, we've seen, got a couple tops in Italy. The deck virtually got untouched, so I will put it in the few tops category still because, you know, I think from a representation perspective, like it always make like, you know, like Italy showed that like, I think 4 out of 64 players still topped, which I think is like really strong. So I think like this deck will still have a couple slots for sure. You have like the Chimera deck. It didn't get touched as well, so I'll put it in the same category as Branded, because it's just like nothing got hit by the deck. A bunch of one card starters, a bunch of non-engine. Same, you know, a story as old as like, you know, the good old days. You know, in the good old days of like Prankers and all that stuff. Dragon Link. Did anything? I think like Dragon Link is still like in the this sort of category. I think it'll be a lot worse. Like it's like in between these two. The only reason is because the issue with Dragon Link is that like Bystials are really strong, but if the format devolves into majority fire decks, I would put it in like the few tops or the one top category. But it might be pushed to a new level because of like the Ib Synchro Dragon combo version. So I'll put it in the few tops to be safe. Because of the new Ib cards, whatever. And I know people do like some World Legacy Guard Dragon combos within the deck with it. So I will put it in the few tops category. Maybe someone will figure it out and do something crazy with it. But definitely a strong contender if someone figures out the goo. Okay, so next we have Unchained, guys. I think this deck, oh my god, I don't know where to put it, man. This hurts. This actually hurts me the most. Like I actually love this deck. I think this deck is insane, but with Shavar going to 1, like it really does hurt the deck a lot. And the deck was already super bricky before. With 1 Shavar, it's even brickier. So I would put it at like 1 top, to be honest. Like dude, Shavar hurts so bad, bro. Like I'm no cap. Do not be one of those players playing triple Rakea, please. Do not do it. That shit will not help you. Okay, like yeah, you just can't send Shavar as Shavar off the tour guide combo anymore too. Like it's just so rough, man. Yeah. So let's look at Frenyer, aka Kashtira. Unicorn went to 3. I think like pure cash will probably have a couple tops, like 1 top here and there. Like I've seen, I think at Richmond, at YCS Richmond, some guy topped with pure Kashtira. And I've seen like a couple people play and top with pure Kashtira. So I'll put it at the 1 top category for sure. Just because like I've seen pure cash literally top. And I think in Bologna, yeah, 1 guy topped Bologna with like pure Kashtira, playing like Di-Fi, like all that stuff, you know, the war crime cards. So then we have Runic Fountain, definitely top. So when Runic Fountain is on this list, I'm not talking about Runic Stun because that Runic Stun variant is pretty much dead. With TC Boo, Gozen, Rivalry, all those cards at 1 now, it like is way worse. So I would put it in the definitely top category. Shout out to Joshua Schmidt. That guy cannot hold runic cards. Like, he is not allowed to hold runic cards ever again. Like, no cap. I have to take that. Like, someone steal his runic cards. Okay, this is not okay. Um, but yeah, I think Runix is virtually untouched as an engine. So if someone can figure out another variant, like a new variant of Runic that's very very strong, then I think this can definitely be a top contender. We've seen Bistro Runic obviously win YCS Bologna, and if there's another engine that can supplement the Runic cards really really well, honestly it could be absolutely insane. So we have triple upstart now, right? Which is, like I think I saw like the Runic Generator deck try to play like the Runic Generator deck try to play like, what do you call it? Pot of Prosperity. But obviously the Runic deck can utilize and take advantage of the triple upstart, I think, as well. Like, that's one of the decks that can definitely utilize triple upstart in my opinion. Um Allowing you to see like tip more consistently by having a 37 card deck, right? So definitely something to like think about. Maybe like you play like Sky Striker Runic now with triple upstart, double engage, all that good stuff. I don't know. I'm just like talking right now. But we have Orcus. Okay, guys, I'll be honest. When I started playing, I think Orcus was on the verge of getting like absolutely murdered on the list because I started playing right after like Nash of 2019. And I think that was when like the Orcus cards were slowly getting hit. So I never actually played with his deck. I think I played against it a couple times, but that's it. So I'm not sure what Harp Horror means for this Orcus strategy. But it will probably have one top. I think like some people are diehard fans of this deck. They'll probably take it to the YCS, and honestly, I could see one topping, in my opinion. So I can see one topping, no cap. Like, I think graveyard decks, it's like a graveyard type deck is like having a second hand almost, like where your graveyard is like your second hand. And I've always like seen these graveyard type decks be like insane. Like, like Unchained having all the graveyard stuff is like, like quote unquote the second hand per se. So I usually think these type of like second hand decks are like really strong. And so I don't know, maybe something comes along with it. Okay, now we have to talk about Infernoble. Okay, look guys, know what I'm saying? I'll catch you at the YCS top. Know what I'm saying? At the Okay, alright. Okay, look. Maybe one will top, and that person's gonna be me. Know what I'm saying? You better believe it. Look. Okay, look. One will top, okay? That person may or may be me. It may or may not be me. That's all I gotta say. It may or may not be me. Guys, I did it before. I was the only person to top Bologna with Infernoble. I'll do it again, no problem. Guys, I just saw someone say Sir Capalot, and I think I just felt offended. That shit hit me in the heart, no cat. The Sir Capalot was kind of crazy. Anyways, Fire King, I actually think this deck will be the majority top. Because, like I said, I honestly do think fire decks are just like getting a lot of crazy support. I think they're gonna be the Sinful Spoils package is literally like S tier, like, or like almost like not tier 0 per se, but like super high tier 1. Just because of how much pluses it gives you, how versatile it is. It's basically chaos space for every single deck that can utilize the cards. And the recursion, the follow-up, the advantage it gets is just so broken. I think Fire Kings is going to be one of those decks that can utilize the Sinful Spoil engine the best, and I definitely would put it in the majority top category just because of how powerful it is at utilizing the new Sinful Spoil stuff and the new Link 3 Promethean Princess. This is another copy of Cashier, so I'll just put it here. Labyrinth, I think I'll put this in like this, actually. Labyrinth is probably going to be the most topped deck, just because, dude, 0 touches. The deck didn't get touched at all. Like, there's no touch to this deck at all. It's getting transaction rollback. It's getting like that. There's this new trap card called like Stump and Gump or something. I don't even know the name of it. It's like, it's a trap that like calls a card on the field and then your opponent can't activate it. Look, all I'm saying is Konami loves their waifu decks. Yeah, Rumble Tumble. So I think this deck is gonna be absolutely the nuts. There's no doubt about it. Like the traps that this deck can set didn't get hit as well.
Just subscribed.
D barrier cards like D Bear, cards like Eradicator, absurd. Every furniture's at 3. So this shit's gonna be broken. I already know. So get your max rated cores early, because I already see this deck gonna be super like. It's definitely like gonna be on everyone's radar. I'm curious to see if it still does really well, even though it's now finally gonna be super targeted. Because I feel like a lot of players who were ahead definitely prep for it at YSS Bologna, but not that many people really prep for it or like played well into it or really knew what the cards did, believe it or not, even though decks have been kind of around. But I think that now that it's solidified itself as one of the top decks in the upcoming meta, I kind of wonder how it will perform with everyone super prep for it. Like how will this deck perform if everyone puts 3 bells in their side deck, everyone puts Bistils in their side deck, everything, you know? I'm curious to see, right? So, I'm super curious to see. I do think still the deck is still broken. There's no doubt about that. So, maybe it doesn't matter. But you know, something to think about. The plan deck got circulared, you know. I just think that that shit got hit. Maybe there'll be one top, but it really got circulared. Honestly, Infernoble should probably be here too, but hey, look, that's all I'm saying, you know, the one top. Actually, I'll put this in one top, no cap. Only because, like, I really do think some plant one tricks are just gonna top. Like, it just happens. Like, the plant one tricks are scary, man. Like, they just be doing anything. So, maybe one will top. Then we have Vanadium. I would put this in definitely top because the issue is Vanadium got 0 cards hit. It's one of the strongest going second decks with just engine cards because of cards like Astrolaud. It kind of sucks the deck doesn't utilize Sinful Spoils as well as other decks, but maybe after watching Triff's deck profile where he utilizes the Sinful Spoils with a bunch of field spells, maybe this deck is like can be like compete. I would definitely put this in the definitely top just because, like, I think if people are looking to play combo type decks, I think this is like one of the decks that people will naturally just gravitate towards. And as a result, I think this deck will definitely be in the definitely top category. One of the stronger decks in the format, just because a lot of people are going to play it. I actually do think like the Bestial Vanadium version of the deck is pretty strong. Shout out to Deadly.
Destiny Yugioh just
like, and there's a lot of really cool synergies with like the Spotter, the Bestial Monsters, Chaos Angel, all that good stuff.
On them again, RQ, please?
Circular. I mean, it's banned. Like, playing Mathmag without Circular is like playing Infernoble without Soldi. I'm just joking. Mekanko probably one top. I mean, like, I know they hit a lot of the combo version of Mekanko, but going second version where like Lava Golems you and then just OTKs you didn't actually get hit. So like I think people will play less combo Mekanko and play more go second OTK you, see you later Mekanko, which is quite honestly super scary in my opinion. Like, this is definitely not a deck to be reckoned with for sure. So Sleepy went to 2, which kind of sucks because I think in Master Duel, right? Like in Master Duel, when Delicious went to 2, because it's no longer guaranteed off of my friend Pearly, I think the Pearly deck becomes significantly weaker because you no longer have guaranteed combo lines with my friend into Triple Sleepy, right? So this deck might have, I think, one top, to be honest, as a result of that. But maybe with Pot of Prosperity still at 3, right? That card didn't get hit. It's still fine. But honestly, yeah, maybe you just reveal 2 Sleepy, 1 Delicious, and it doesn't matter, right? But it's definitely it's definitely a strong going second deck. So I'm not sure. I think like I'll put it in between these two. But like opening, like, you know, yeah, having like, you know, 3 less quick plays, like, you know, having 2 less Delicious, 1 less Sleepy really does hurt the consistency of the deck a little bit. I would put it in like between these 2 category. So yeah. Tier limit, I'll see you later. I'll see you, bro. This deck's unplay. If this deck doesn't sack you, it's actually unplayable. It's actually unplayable. So, so yeah, so it is what it is, you know. We have Flu on the Reese, bro. I hate this deck, but it's always one of those decks that just gets a few tops every now and then. if you really think about it, it's one of the decks that always gets a few tops, mainly because like it has shifter access, right? Shifter being like just an absurd card,
RGB Fox just
and there's nothing much to
subscribed.
say about it. The deck didn't really get hit that much. It can utilize shifter, strong. Sky Striker, I mean, maybe one. I think Sky Striker by itself pure isn't going to be that much better just because of triple upstart, but I don't know. I would put it in circular. I don't think people. I think if you combine Sky Striker with like other engines, maybe it'll be way better. But I think like triple upstart doesn't make this deck that much better, in my opinion. Maybe Sky Orcus. Yeah, like I said, I would put pure Sky Striker in circular tier. But maybe if you come up with like another way to utilize Sky Striker cards in like another deck, maybe it'll be way better. Volcanics, I can definitely see this getting a few tops actually. Um, like I said, I think fire decks are inherently just way better, so I'm just gonna always put them in a higher tier, just because of the fact that like I think fire cards are just really broken right now. So yeah, I'll put this like right here, to be honest, like somewhere in like the you know maybe like this actually. I think I'm gonna move Dragon Link a little bit up because I think Dragon Link is like in the combo area of Vanadium, like around this part. And then I probably would put this like around here. Like if someone figured out like the volcanic goo, I can definitely see that deck doing well. Like dude, I remember that at Indy when I dropped out the tournament and I was in the side events, I literally saw this guy playing Volcanics and he was cooking people in the side events, bro. It was insane. Like he was actually cooking people so bad, Like so bad. It was actually foul. Yeah, Rubik's would probably be S tier maybe. Yeah, for sure. So I'll put this like up there for sure. Next, we have Vanquish Soul. Honestly, a few tops. Like this deck is consistently always topped here and there. It almost won a YCS as well. But literally, it's like honestly, it's play shifter. Big reason why it's gonna be up there. There's no more Takobo for sure, but I think the list at top didn't even main Takobo actually. Like it's just a really good mid-range engine that just like goes infinite. Like if you draw Raisin, like is your job, it's gonna be a good deck, Like Josh 7-0'd me. He 7-0'd me with this deck without even maining Takobo. And I was playing Inferno. Dude, it was actually disgusting. I think a lot of people sided Summon Limit anyways. They're just gonna play Summon Limit in the side deck instead of Tisibu, right? In Vanquish Soul, which is like so broken. Actually, Summon Limit is actually crazy too. So I actually think this is there. If you guys are wondering why Sorso's not on the list, it's because I gotta keep it under wraps, Yeah, this deck can also. Yeah, the other cool thing about Vanquish Soul is that it can main deck Bell, which is insane. Like that's a huge bonus if Lab becomes like one of the strongest decks, because you can also Bell Wanted, no? Because you can Bell the Wanted spell too, because Wanted can add the Witch from the grave. So I do think that like I think the fact that this deck can play Bell. Can Bell Wanted is kind of clean. Yeah, no doubt. I think this deck is not too shabby, So, guys, this is my thoughts on the tier list. Let's see if I'm wrong or right by the time Vegas YCS comes, Costa Rica YCS comes, and we'll go back and look at this. All right, guys. But I hope you guys enjoy this quick little recap of what I think the decks are gonna look like post the new ban list. I'm gonna be cooking. I'm gonna be in the lab. I'm glad this ban list finally comes. So, yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if I was right, what decks I missed as well, because I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts. New Banlist season is always like the best season because you get to see some really creative juices flow. I'm excited to see what you guys are also thinking about. Let me know in the comments, all right?